Hey, TikTok, Jim Malone here, coming to you live from the Dallas trading floor. I'm also on Periscope and on YouTube. Really interesting day. The market is starting to move sort of in the direction I anticipated, and that is basically it is moving to it's moving against the market, and the markets are down today. As for full disclosure, I shorted the SPY this morning, and I also shorted the Diamond, the DIA, this morning. And so there we go. I'm in Tesla. I did sell a call option, a 7:30 call option for a Friday. So that position is looking good. Interestingly enough, it's doing the few. It's one of the few of any of the stocks that's doing well today. Goldman Sachs just did a nice upgrade on it. So very interesting day. We're seeing the market move down, and this is kind of what I was expecting. Based on kind of the charts. It looks as if the SPY bounced at 275 or 276. Can't really tell. I'm going to have some charts on Periscope here, just to kind of go over, trying to go over with you some of that, and just kind of give you an idea of how we're looking on the the tape. Interestingly enough, we are back. There's some unfortunate, very bad news today. I don't know if you know this, but JCPenney's looks like it's going to file for bankruptcy. No surprise there. Actually, last summer I had a JCPenney bond. I sold it. Glad I did. I hate to see JCPenney go under. I really like that store. Believe it or not, it kind of fits me very well because, I am kind of a middle class guy, and JCPenney's is a really nice store for somebody like me. I hope they can reorganize. I hope so, because it is a good store, but unfortunately, they're in trouble. It's really sad. That JCPenney is probably going to go down. But not unexpected, not unexpected at all. Again, that's why I moved. I moved to short the Spider and the Diamond this morning. I think we're going to be heading down towards into the weekend. There are some stocks that are bucking the trend, and I'll have them for you. I'll have them for you a little bit later in the IBD 50. Netflix is doing great. Everybody's streaming. Everybody's at home watching the TV. So there you go. Any tips on moving out of my parents' house? I'm so scared. Oh gosh, I'm sorry to say this. Here's the thing about real estate. Hey, thanks, man. Oh, Mobile. Are you in Mobile? I actually have relatives there. Is it Moody, Alabama, or Mobile? I have relatives in Mobile. Really like it. It's going to be tough for a lot of people, I'm afraid. There's going to be a lot of unemployment, and the price. The other shoe that's going to drop, quite frankly, is going to be the price of houses. I think that a lot of them are going to get very, very weak. So just word to the wise, there is definitely money to be made in this market. I know it's kind of ghoulish, but shorting the market works, and that's how I've been bringing in cash through this period, and I suspect I will be doing it throughout for quite a while, because because that's the kind of thing that that's there. So I actually have a client, a comment here. Let's see. I am looking. What did you short the? And this is a question. Where did I short the the SPY and the DIA, and I'll give you that actual information right now. My short, and I keep it in this book here. My short on the DIA is just so you'll have it is 234.02, and then also on the on the spider, the SPY. I shorted that this morning at 277.23. There you go. So there we go. See if I can put that up on the, hopefully that's working on the screen. You can see that. That's where I shorted, that's where I shorted the DIA, which is the diamond 234.02, and the spider 277.23. So that gives you kind of an idea of where we're going with that. Real interesting. I'm just learning how to use all these things. Going to go to question on TikTok. Sorry, my audio is kissed. Did you speak about getting into the market? Well, right now, I am primarily short the market. I am short the spider, and I'm also short the diamond, which is the Dow Jones. That's where I'm short the market. It's just something that it's going to happen. The market is down 600 points today, and I think that we're just looking at it moving back below the 50-day moving average. It's yeah, I think still a little time to short. I don't know. I don't know if you want to short the SQQQ at this time. I think you want to go. If you're going to short anything that's a verse ETF, you want to look at shorting the TQQQ. But if you want to use the SQQQ to short the market, then you want to go long on the SQQQ. And I think there might still be a little bit of time. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, you want to go long. You want to buy the SQQQ. That shorts the market for you. There is a companion ETF that you can use to go long the market. Obviously, we're not going long to market today because it's falling 600 points, but that is the TQQQ. Just wanted to be clear on that as well. So, you're probably going to do well for a short-term trade on that. Let me just see where the okay, it's up. Yeah, nice. It's up about 62 cents, which is good because considering it went from 13, that's a nice move on the SQQQ. Here's the thing I found, and this is just kind of my personal my personal. Typically, okay, now it's moving down. It's trying to find a bottom too. I would be out of the typically you see the most movement in the markets on these reverse ETFs from about 9:30 until about 11 o'clock or so when I come on. That typically, for some reason, that tends to be where you see the biggest downward motion on the on those things. So again, I shorted the spider and the diamond today, and I also have sold a call option for for Tesla. Let me see if I can give you a good reading on that. All right. And I just want to show you, and this is on Periscope. I have this slide up on Periscope, the market direction. Even though we're in a confirmed uptrend, even though we're in a bullish, we've had a follow through day and it's bullish. The NASDAQ is down. The NASDAQ currently at this morning was 83.36. and it is down about 2%, which is a lot. It's actually down a little bit more than that, about 600 points. That's part of the reason why I went short on the Spider this morning, and also the Diamond. The Diamond basically is the Dow Jones 30, and then the Spider is, of course, the S&P 500. So if we think the market is going to go down, it might be a good potential good trade to go short on those, as I did this morning. So there you go. Let's see. Feels like, I'm trying to look here. Yeah, it feels like a weak bullish trend. I think so. I think what's happening, just between you and me, I believe that we are in a situation where we're going to see some movement off of that 50-day moving average. Now, as I've been kind of indicating for about a week or so, I suspected that we would see a reversal basically when the Spider reached a level of about 275. I was a little bit wrong. I was a little bit too conservative. We actually saw the reversal at about 279, 280. And now it's starting to move back. I think it's going to move down. I think we're going to see it. I think we're going to see this snapback rally that we had off of the lows, which basically was the low of the market was March 23rd. And then we changed direction. We went down to 218 on the Spider, and then we moved very rapidly up. I think we're going to go back and down and retest that number. Do you think that the Fed will start buying stocks? Wow, I don't know. That's what they've done in Japan, but I doubt it. I doubt it. I think what's going to happen now is you're going to see. You're going to see some support maybe in the ETFs, but basically, you're going to see a lot of selling going on, and it's going to sell down, I believe, to where the Spider at least retests the low at 218. It may go lower. I hope not, but it may go lower. There's money to be made here. I know this sounds strange, but this is why being all in cash and shorting, with some very few exceptions, or selling cover or selling calls, sometimes can be a very good strategy, or possibly buying puts, because that's another way that you can benefit from this downward motion in the market. And I think that we're going to have this at least, probably for at least, a few weeks. Maybe, until we find out some more of the numbers on this COVID thing. We're not going to be reopened, looks like, in this country until the end. At the very earliest, going to be the end of April. So there's just, I was watching CNBC this morning with the president of American Airlines, which is based here in Fort Worth, and he was saying that basically they have lost 90% of their revenue. So they're going to be laying off people, regardless of if they have paycheck protection or whatever. It's just going to be. It's not going to be nice. And I mean, it's not going to be nice. Check for Thursday. Thank you, man. I'm just learning this. Okay. Thanks for going on there with Periscope. Okay. If the drop occurs prior to placing the order. Okay. Okay. Do I set my limit? Oh, okay. Very good. Let me just show this on Periscope here. These questions that I've been getting. How do you? And the question really is, how do I set my limit different than just the asking price? Basically, what it is it's set it at I kept it at 5% above a BOVE, the short sale price. So what I did this morning, what I did this morning is that I shorted the Spider at 277.23, and then I placed an order to cover, a buy to cover order with a good till cancel, because you always want to do that because you want to have multi-day, and I set that order for a market limit order at 271.99. So that's 5% above the price that I shorted out. So just to kind of review really quickly, just to kind of review kind of quickly. Oh, wait a minute, filter anything that looks like strand. Try another. Okay. Okay. I'm going to say 5% above short price. So hopefully this will answer the question here. If I see if it takes that one. Okay. Sometimes it. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. Super. Okay. That's okay. So now, okay, that's setting the limit. Okay. What? Oh, okay. I'm going to show another question that I just got on Periscope. Basically, if the drop occurs prior to placing the order, well, that's why I set that's why I set a market order. Set a let's see, set sell short, and then market on the order price. Hopefully that makes sense. If I can get that up there for you. Basically, what we're saying there is that when you're shorting, you're going to basically, oh, wait a minute. It is, that's interesting. It didn't like that one. Okay, I'm going to set sell short at market. Okay, and there we go. Hopefully that'll go up there. Now, the thing, what that does is basically what, for some reason it's filtering me out, so I'm having problem. So that's how you do it. Yes, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to put sell short. And then let's see if that will come up on the chat here. Okay, great. And then at market. At market price. Okay, there we go. All right, I was shorting with a limit. Oh, okay, okay. Now, here's the reason why it does that. Kind of weird. The reason it does that is, the reason it does it, in order to short, what you have to have, you can't short on a down tick, what's called a down tick. It must move up before you can short it. So if you do it at market, it'll automatically take advantage of that, and it'll short it at market, and then you look to see where it was shorted. Now, what am I talking about shorting? Well, when you short a stock, what happens is you borrow that stock from your broker, and then you sell it, and then that money goes into your account as restricted cash, but it goes into your account. And then you hold that stock, and hopefully if the market goes down, you then buy it back later at a lower price. And that's really what you're doing here. You're basically borrowing stock, selling it, waiting for it to drop, and then you are covering the you are covering the short. And that's really what it is. So let me see if I can show you on Periscope. This is on Periscope, by the way. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to show to see if I'm going to have another. Let's see. There we go. Okay, I'm going to show you the. I have the IBD 50 up now on Periscope. Again, it's PC. It's pscp.tv/Dallas Trading Floor, all one word. That's how you can see it when I'm talking about. There are some stocks that are bucking this downward trend. I believe they're going to be in a downward trend until we retest the bottom. And my sort of thing to where is the bottom? The bottom basically came in on March 23rd at a price of 218 on the spider. And basically, until it retests that, I think the market is going to fall. Just my humble opinion there, but I do believe it's going to fall until it retests that low. So on the IBD 50. There are some stocks that are doing well in this market. Now, at the absolute top of the list is Netflix. It's up about $3. It's a very expensive stock at $300. You might not want to buy it directly. You might want to potentially look at some calls out a little bit. I think that this stock is going to do well even in a down market because everyone's at home. They're watching their Netflix. I certainly do, and I think a lot of other people do. So can Netflix? I don't think it can save the Nasdaq, but this is part of the reason I don't. This is part of the reason I don't short the QQQ, because there are certain stocks in the QQQ, such as Netflix, such as Amazon, such as Microsoft. They're all in there that are going to do well regardless of what the economy is like for the retail and for stores and that kind of thing. They're going to do well if people stay home. They're going to do well if people go out. They're just the new economy. So those typically are concentrated in the NASDAQ 100. It's the 100 largest companies that are on the NASDAQ. Now, the spider represents the S&P 500. I think that that's much more vulnerable because that's much more broad market. The market's down about 600 points today. So therefore, the spider probably is going to, and it is obviously today, it's dropping in sympathy with that. So that's a way you can make some quick money, is by, if you think that the market is going to go down, which I did this morning, that's what you want to short in the morning and then possibly cover it towards the end of the day. The other really broad index ETF that I like to look at is the Diamond. It's the DIA. It's the Dow Jones 30, and of course, it's going down as well. What about the SOXS? Now, that's a great question because the XOSS is a really interesting one. It shorts the Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Stock Exchange index of semiconductor companies. This is the semiconductor industry. It's up today. Yeah, okay, this is interesting. This is not surprising. The XOSS is up. It's 1191. That makes sense because the XOSS covers the index on the semiconductor manufacturers, which I believe in this new economy, where it's COVID economy, they still will do well too. So that's up. So I'm not surprised there. I think it's very much still a bear market. As a matter of fact, I don't even think we've gotten going yet. We are probably going to be, most bear markets typically, at least from my reading of history, last about 18 months. And they have these fake out rallies. So what will happen is it'll go down, it'll hit down, and everyone will, the government will do something. Like, for instance, this happened in 2008 when you had Lehman Brothers going out of business, and you had to have the Fed step in to prop up AIG. This was part of a bear market cycle. And I believe the same is true here. The Fed has intervened because of this COVID thing and put a lot of cash into the system. And what's happened? Well, what happened is that it pushed the market up, but that allowed a lot of the people that were big to get out. and now a lot of people's 401ks, they're all in there with their 401ks. They didn't get out. And it's probably going to head back down. I mean, that's why really we're still in a bear market, and I believe it's going to continue for a while. It's just it's that way where it's just going to continue, and that's all you can say about it. It just is. Let's see. Is it possible WTI hits 15 a barrel? It probably will. But I don't think it's going to stay there long. I think it's really going to be about $20 a barrel. But, the world's awash in oil because everybody's staying home, unfortunately. And so, you have a WTI that's very low. What's going to happen is that you're going to see a lot of, a lot of companies file for bankruptcy. I think Apache is very, very vulnerable. Even one of my favorite companies, ExxonMobil, I don't think is going to do that well. The only really good ones that I can see right now are Chevron, which I think is going to be great. And ESG maybe, and Diamond, which is a symbol FANG, FANG. Those are doing okay, but not so much else for the other ones. Not so good. Ian Ryder, are you going to test? Let's see. Are we going to? I don't think we're going to test for a few days. To be honest with you, I think we're going to go into a downward trend, probably into next week. I don't know. We'll see some updates, but I think we've begun the movement off of the 50-day moving average for the spider. That's kind of the confirmation I was looking for. I was looking for it to bounce at the 50-day moving average, which is about 275. And I do believe we're probably going to move lower on the spider, probably into the weekend. I don't know. But nothing goes down. Nothing goes straight down. It'll go down, it'll come up, and it'll go down and go up, and then it tests the bottom. And then once it tests the bottom, it can continue and it can move again. Yeah, okay. LTRBP. That's interesting. I'll take a look at that. Are you sure that's the right symbol? Let me just check it. LTBR. What was that? LTBR. LTRBP. Hold on. LTRBP. I don't see that as a symbol. Can you give me another symbol on that one? Could you give me another symbol on long-term BP? What is that? Okay, tomorrow's unemployment numbers comes out. Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be a real washout tomorrow. I'm probably going to increase my short position tomorrow in the spider. I'm expecting it's going to be very bad position. There are some companies that are going to hold up, but I think basically, we're going to look at some really bad numbers, unfortunately. I don't like to be ghoulish, but I don't, right now, there are some companies that are bucking the trend. Netflix, of course, VEV, Adobe, Microsoft, it's the normal suspects. NVIDIA, those kind of stocks are looking fairly good, but by and large, not so much. Unfortunately, it just doesn't. We're gonna see a downward leg here, I'm afraid. So basically, let me see if I can move on my slides. Again, I'm broadcasting this on Periscope at the same time. Let me see if I can move to the next one here. And that is the chart, I think, for the spider. There we go. Yeah, it's a chart for the spider. And this will kind of give you an idea of what I am talking about. Got a low battery here. Let me just stick this in here. Okay, super. Great. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. Now we've got to go through all that. All right. The SQQQ probably is a decent buy at this time, because I do think we're going lower. I do think we're going lower as we speak. I do think into the weekend it's probably a good buy, but be very careful. The best time typically I've found to enter the SQQ is about 9:30 in the morning. Why? I don't know, but it tends to be it tends to make its move basically from about 9:30 to about 11. And you can hear in the background they're mowing my lawn. Okay, I'm still trying to get this what is it? LTRBP? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. LTRBP, that's not a symbol. Typically, symbols have a maximum of four of four letters, so I don't think that's a symbol, unfortunately. Can you elaborate on holding SQQ overnight is not beneficial? Well, the reason I don't like to hold the SQQQ and the other leverage ETFs overnight, the main reason I don't like to hold them is because typically when that happens, you're going to when that kind of thing happens, you're going to see it rebalance every night. So that's the reason why you typically get most on those leverage ETFs. You're going to get most of your movement in one day. So that's the reason why I like to buy them in the morning and then close them up and then see what's going to happen overnight. Now you can hold them. You definitely can hold them, but sometimes that's not the greatest thing. Okay, what's up with Tesla? Okay, great. This is my one and only long position right now is Tesla. I am long Tesla. I'm long 100 shares of Tesla. Why? Because first of all, I believe that it is beginning. The new economy is beginning, and one of the situations with Tesla is that it is going to be the new economy. They have $6 billion in cash, and they have an order book that is full. Nobody else has this. Not BMW, not Mercedes, not Toyota, not Ford, not anybody. So that's why I believe, not BP. Okay. I'm sorry. BP. Let me take a look at BP. Now, let me go quick to BP. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. The question. I apologize for that. Yeah, BP is down 1.5. That's significant. That's basically, yeah. The oil sector is really hard to invest in because it just doesn't have the support in the rest of the. It just doesn't have the support. Yeah, it's down 22. It's probably going to go down. This is maybe a short candidate, to be honest with you. Maybe a short candidate. What do you think about having a small position in gold? Not a bad idea, actually. Not a bad idea. I mean, we may start seeing gold because gold, of course, is uncertainty, and we definitely have some uncertainty that is going to happen in the market. Now, the problem with gold, I believe it's a little bit too high. I think it's going to move back down a little bit because typically gold and oil move in tandem. But, with the supply of oil in the world, not so much. So there are some great ways to play this ETF-wise. And one that I like is called GLD. It's an ETF. It's a gold ETF. And that's a good way to play it. Let me just see what it's trading at now. I'm just for full disclosure, I am not in this currently. Okay, it's down a little bit. This is not surprising. Yeah, see, this is the thing about gold. It's at 160. It's moved down. This is the Spider Gold Trust. It's a good way to play it, but right now it's moving lower. And part of the reason why gold is such a strange deal is because you would think gold would be just going through the roof. It'd be 2,000-3,000, but gold is an inflation hedge. We don't have inflation in this market because nobody is working. Nobody has cash. We have what they call deflation, and in deflation, gold doesn't do all that well, to be honest. If the price of oil was up, then we would have inflation and it would be a different situation. But this is the reason why you want to be a little careful in gold, because while it may turn right now, not so much. So that's the way it is. Yeah, Tesla burns 300 million a week. If the economy is down, you think Tesla? No, I don't. And the reason I don't think that is because we have a rebalancing of the economy for vehicles. All right. We are going to move, not totally, but we're going to start to move away from gasoline powered vehicles. And we're going to move towards electric vehicles just for a lot of reasons. And right now, Tesla's production is completely subscribed. So it has a full order book. Also, Tesla is in an enviable position because they weren't able to get dealers. They had to deal directly with the customer. So they're basically an internet-based car company. There's really the only one. So they deliver their vehicles basically directly to the houses and directly to shopping centers, and they don't have the overhead and the dealer network to deal with. This is a problem with all the other major manufacturers, is they all have dealer networks that they have to push inventory on, and right now they're not selling, and with the other companies, because they're not selling, they can't produce more cars because the system's clogged up. So Tesla has an advantage there as well. So I do think that they're going to go higher. I just do. And I do think that the company is very good. Companies that are shining right now, it could be a sign of where the market. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. The companies that are shining right now are going to lead our way into the future. They are going to lead our way in the future. The reason I went long on Tesla, and I just went long yesterday on Tesla. The reason I went long was because Tesla moved above the 50-day moving average, and I was waiting for that to happen. It's happened. Now it's off a little bit today. It's trading down a little bit, but it's still pretty strong, and I think it's going to remain strong based on this technical based on the charts, because this is part of the reason I shorted the SPY today, is because it basically bounced off of the 50-day moving average, and that is basically resistance, and it's going to move lower, I believe. So there you go. Countries that, okay, let's see if we got anything else. Oh, right. Okay, so let me take a question. Okay, exactly. Can you take a look at, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, any thoughts on TJX? Okay, this is TJ Maxx. I think TJ Maxx is probably is close to bankruptcy. That would be my guess. Yeah. Yeah, TJX. Oh, it's up. Isn't that interesting? Well, I stand corrected. I stand corrected. It looks like it's trading up at 47. Off, as far as I know, TJ Maxx it's an off-price retailer. Hey, it might be the ones that survive. I mean, that's probably our new JCPenney. Sadly enough, I really kind of hate that, but that's probably the new JCPenney. So I can't really explain that, why that one's up. Let me take some comments from Periscope here. I'm just going to move over to their comments and let's see what we got. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, I've got a question here. I'm going to put this up on the screen, and this is going to come up here, hopefully, in a second. Basically, a lot of banks are announcing earnings tomorrow. That's right. And it is not going to be very good, unfortunately. Why is that the case? Well, banks tend to loan a lot of money to people that have multifamily housing. And a lot of people are unemployed right now, and they're not going to be paying their rents. Sad. I mean, I have a property in California where that's exactly what happened. I got the notice, and of course, the great governor in the state of California, who's basically said nobody has to pay the rent. Well, guess what's going to happen? When this all sorts out, I'm going to sell all the rest of my properties in California. I'm going to move to Texas. I'm going to move everything to Texas like I am. I mean, there's going to be a disinvestment, and that's just the way it is. So there you go. Companies are shining right now. Could be, okay, let's see if I'm taking another one off of TikTok. TJX, okay, that's why. Okay, good. I don't think gold 2,500, at least not now. It's catfishing. There you go. Could you please take a look at LTRBP. There is no LTRBP. It's okay. That's a penny stock, and I appreciate that. But I typically symbols on exchanges are four, are 1, 2, 3, or 4 typically. Four letters. There are some exceptions like Berkshire B, but that looks like a penny stock. If you want to be involved in penny stocks, go to it. Typically, though, they're very thin, and most of the people that are involved in it have difficulties. All right, so let me take another question from somebody here on Periscope. I am long Netflix. Thoughts about to hit? This is great. Okay, you know what? I'm so glad you're giving me this question. This is a great question. Here's what I would do on this. I do believe it's going to be. I do believe it's going to be stronger. But way you could generate some extra income is take and look about 40 days out and see if you could sell a covered call on it. This would be a way that you could sell, but you could also generate some extra income as well. Let me just take a quick look here at some of the options on that for Netflix. FLX, I believe that's Netflix. Yeah, there we go, Netflix. Okay, let me just take a look at some of these options out there. Now, you have to have 100 shares to do this, but this might be a good option. There are. I'm looking at the May 15th option. The May 15th 435 option is selling for $31. That's killer. If you have 100 shares, you could go and you could sell an option on that, protect your profits, make some more money. 435. If you were to sell the call on that, you would make $31. That would be $3,100 if you have 100 shares. Not a bad way. And then if it goes above that, great. You're going to be sold out. You're going to still make a profit because you have that 10% up. And then if it goes down, you're protected. So that's not a bad way to go. Banks will have a lot of foreclosures. Absolutely. That's the issue. That's the issue. Oh yeah, it's going to be a red morning. Boy, that is so true. Thank you for putting that out there. That is so true. It's going to be a very red morning, and I think that we may see a further down leg here, and it might be. I don't know if the SPY. Okay, is the SPY back to 277? Let's just take a quick look. It may have bounced. Let me see that. 277. Okay, so it bounced back a little bit. I still think there's resistance at 275 to 275 to about 280. I think there's resistance. I think we're going to see it reverse tomorrow. But very good. Short the banks? Well, I don't think he's shorting the banks directly is the way to do it because this is such a weird market. I would short the ETF, and that's going to be the XLF. Let me just get a price on the XLF for you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is the XLF. Is it XLF? Yeah. That's select sectors. Financials. Yeah. Okay. This is trading at 21. This is probably the one you want to look at. XLF. That would be the one to short. Abbott record. Yeah, it is absolutely. Okay. This is the date of. Okay. So now, what the person said about Abbott Labs is this is the day of record, meaning that if you are an owner today of Abbott Labs, then you will receive the dividend payment. I don't know exactly what that is, but it's going to be good. Abbott, of course, has the 5-minute test, and they're doing great, and they're crushing it. So they're one of the few ones out there that's just great. What can you say? Let me just move on here on my charts. Let me see if I have anything to show. That's my current positions, just so you can see them. Let me shift that back so you can see my current positions. This is where I have. This is my current holdings. I only have 4 positions, and that's amazing. Tesla option, spiders, and that's pretty much it. So it's kind of interesting. I don't have that many positions, but I'm up, so it seems to be working for me right now. If any of you want to share the financials, but you don't, yeah, okay, FAZ. Thank you, man, Bobby. That's great. Let me look at the FAZ. That's a good one. Here's the thing: when you're shorting this, using an inverse ETF, when you're shorting it using, and that's up nicely. When you're shorting it using an inverse ETF, I have found, and I don't know why this is the case, but typically you don't want to short it. You don't want to buy it at the open, okay? Because there's a lot of pending orders that are in there typically at the open. You want to wait till those are cleared out. I typically wait about 30 minutes. So when the market opens, wait about 30 minutes, see where it's trading, then go into it, because then you're going to probably see it's going to settle, and you're going to see your biggest amount up, because that's a directional that moves against the market. So let me see. Okay, then I have a question here. Let me see. Would you recommend getting Tesla long today? You know what? I'm in Tesla. And as I just put up I'll show you that again. If you're looking on Periscope or YouTube, I have my positions out here. Just wanted to show them to you. I actually went long on Tesla at $730.65 a share. Well, it's down a little bit from that, so I'm a little bit out of the money there. But I sold a Tesla option, a call option, for $28, so that protects me, you see, all the way down to 700. So that's what I like to do if it's a market like this, is I like to protect my position. I'll go long, but I'll also sell a call, which will protect my position. So that's a way you can go long, and it's a little bit safer. Let's see. All right, should I sell mRNA? Let me look at mRNA real quickly. NA. And that is Moderna. You know, I don't think, well, how much, just a quick question. If you're up 20%, you might want to consider it, but I would hold on this one. I would hold on to Moderna. I think you should hold on to it. Amazon is a definite long. And EVBG. Let me look at EVBG real quick. Let me see. EVBG. Okay, Everbridge. I don't know Everbridge that well, but it is up. Yeah, it's up significantly. Look at that. Nice. Here's the thing. Rule. If you have stuff that is going up, hold it. Keep holding it as long as it's going up, but push your stop loss up. Try to keep your stop loss about 5% below the current trading price. And then if it reverses on you, it will sell you out. You'll make some nice profit that way. That's how I tend to like to manage those positions like that. If you're up 20% on a stock, you might want to consider selling half your position and then taking the rest and just letting it ride. But when you're moving up like this, it's very nice, and you want to keep doing that. So that's what I would recommend. Amazon is a definite long. There's no question. Thoughts on because it's a gangster stock. Yep, that's true. It is. I mean, you know, Amazon is awesome. I mean, if you're on Amazon, I mean, it's expensive. It's like $2,000. You know, it's a couple grand a share. I mean, it's expensive. You might have to own it, you know, through an ETF or something like that. But it's a great stock. I mean, it's going to be a great stock. So if you're along that, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm really sorry about that lawnmower thing. Here's the thing. It's really interesting. I'm actually broadcasting from home here. I have had a situation where my lawn crew is absolutely desperate for money, and they're literally coming every week. They're only supposed to come every 2 weeks, but there's no work for them. This is a mark on the economy. We're going to be cash shy in this economy. Matter of fact, I've got to call my management company because they're not supposed to come. They're literally trying to come every 2 or 3 days because they have no money. It's amazing. Let's see. How do you decide on a tight stop loss or something versus something loser? Well, it's really hard to. You really have to do this by feel. But I like a tight stop loss, and I like to take my losses quickly, and I like to let my profits run. So it's really in this kind of market. I want to set a 5% stop loss. I really do. Will there be civil unrest this summer if the stock market is down? I don't think there'll be civil unrest because there's just a lot of people that aren't. Yeah, I think the TVX might be green tomorrow. That's really a good call. That's a really good call. Hold on one second. See if I can. I don't know. Sorry about this. Sorry about this lawnmower. It's crazy. It's crazy here. I think it's a good call on the TVX. Is there actually like other than 2X? Yeah, I'm sure it is. It's just tell the lawnmower guy grow dependence for you. Well, it's true. I mean, seriously. I feel for them, but there's just no work for people. It's already starting, and the people that are mowing your lawn, stuff like that, they're just going to be on you like a cheap suit. They're on my properties like a cheap suit right now because they know that I pay, and I don't think a lot of other people are paying them, and this sucks, but. I don't know. What can you say? Well, there you go. Okay, good. So they're finished. They've finished it, and hopefully. Oh no, they're keeping it going. Sorry about that. Probably. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, good time to barter. You're not kidding. It's funny. I kind of had a little bit of a precursor to this. I've had friends for a long time come to me with stuff that they want, they need cash. It's sad. But in this period of time, cash is king. We're in a deflationary cycle. It's just the kind of thing that sucks. But, that's why they threw the big stimulus out there, because they don't want civil unrest. If you have guns, ammo, toilet paper, yes. Save your cash. Right. Absolutely. It's a good time possibly to, if you don't have a concealed carry license here in Texas, it's pretty easy to get. You might want to consider it. I'm not saying that it's going to get, I'm not going to say it's going to get like Argentina or something, but we're going to go through a period when there's going to be a rearrangement in the system. I'm not, a lot of people that you thought were really solid are not going to be so solid, and they're going to be shorts. And in this market, you can make money by shorting stock. And that's really what I'm going to try to concentrate on, because I do think that we're going basically not down, but it's going to be, it's going to be a situation that's going to be a little bit more dire. Second range of stimulus in June is possible. I think so. What about spot in the near future? Let me look at spot right here. SPOT. All right. Spotify. Well, Spotify's up. You know what? I don't like Spotify, and I'll tell you why I don't like them. There's so much free music out there with Pandora and everything else. Even Facebook, which is a great stock, is getting hit because the advertisers just aren't there. Music, unfortunately, is not going to pay what it did when I was in high school. When I was in high school, man, as Fleetwood Mac used to say, they were all moving out to California and turning music into gold. Well, hey, those are the gone days. Most people now in the music business, they don't get paid. They don't get paid. And so Spotify, I'm not so convinced It's so great. Cough, cough, major airlines. Boy, is that ever true? Is that ever true? I actually heard this morning the president of American Airlines, which is based here in Fort Worth, Texas, saying that basically they want to convert a lot of their wide body planes, at least half of the seats, to carrying cargo, because nobody is flying. The only thing that's flying is freight. And of course, we have supply chain problems. I mean, we don't have enough masks because we're totally dependent on China, and there's a lot of problems. I think a lot of the airlines, I think we're going to see some airline bankruptcies probably by summer. I don't know which ones. I don't think it's going to be American. I don't think it's going to be United. But, we may see some other ones like Frontier just go away. I mean, it'd be terrible, but I think that may be true. Let's see. China's secret plan to topple the U.S. I don't, here's the thing. I mean, people don't like Trump a lot, but he's right about a lot of things about how we were overly dependent. We still are on the supply chain from China. Just a fact. And we need to, we'd be really, really careful of that, because our security basically depends on it. Our security depends on it. And anyways, that just maybe for another day. But, I don't know if there's a secret plan, but I tell you this is going to be a very interesting election, because I'm afraid Biden has problems with this issue with China. I think the Clintons do as well, to be honest. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Now, going into tomorrow, I'm going to try to put together. I believe we're going to have a down day tomorrow, and I think we're going to have a down movement into Friday. If you're not in cash on most of your long positions, only be long on the very, very, very best stuff. I'm long Tesla, and that's it. I'm short everything else. So look at your positions really carefully. It's not a good day to be long. There's only a few things that I'm even worth being long on, and most of them, quite frankly, are not worthy of that. So you want to be very careful. You want to be very, very careful tomorrow. But anyways, good. Good talking to you. And I hope I got a low battery. That's weird. I got a low battery here. It's so strange. Okay. There we go. All right. And then we close it again. Sorry about that. We're getting. I think Trump will be. I think he is going to be reelected. I believe that, actually. I think a lot of people don't want him to be reelected. There's a lot of people out there that don't like him. But I think the chickens are going to come home to roost. Now, the problem, of course, is if the economy totally crashes, he may not be elected anyways, because we might have a situation where people are just, are just in breadlines. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope this economy gets restarted. Well, it's almost an hour, and I so appreciate everybody looking at this today. I'll be on Periscope and on YouTube tomorrow, as well as on TikTok. Thanks again for everyone taking a look, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Happy shorts, and just keep in cash, and we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Trying hard. Yeah, absolutely. He is trying hard to save the markets, because the markets collapse. Unfortunately, he does too. Anyways, good talking to you, and I hope to see you tomorrow. And keep up the good work, man.